What's good, everybody's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building, and guess what? We in these streets, but we in these work streets right now, trying to get this work in at the plant, making moves. You know what we do. But basically, we're going to talk about this draft yesterday. Rounds 2 and 3 happened last night. Obviously, you check out the video where I talked about Tyler Guyton, but we're going to talk about my quick breakdowns of the players that were drafted at hand. And then after the draft tonight, we'll talk about those players in a full episode. Probably might bring Mike White on, who knows. But first of all, second round, the surprise. Well, first, I want to talk about this Jonathan Brooks thing. This is what I talk about with Jerry Jones. You talk too much, bro. Y'all talk too much. See, y'all was hella quiet about, Tyler Guyton. I heard through, I think Professor O didn't even bring in a couple of those guys for 30-30 visits. But, bruh, y'all needed a running back. Jerry, you just talk too much. I thought you ain't never learned your lesson. You over there talking about this the best visit you had in 30 years, and y'all just love him. Our guys worked on his knee, blah, 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 blah. Bro, you don't think other NFL teams are looking at that like, we like this running back, but he over there pumping them up and this, and this. So let's go ahead and take him. Carolina went ahead, took him, traded picks to get him. You just talked a little bit too much for me, Jerry, like you always do. And then you lost your running back because you won't be quiet. That's been your problem for 100 years, but it is what it is. But let's talk about the good rebound. Second round surprise, Marshawn Nealon from the University of Western Michigan, 6'3", 267 pounds. They say he's the DeMarcus Lawrence clone. I'm going to go ahead and agree with that in that fact of he's not a high sack guy. If you looked, I think he only had 4.5 sacks this past season, 13 sacks total. So he's not a high sack guy, but what he is, he's a high motor guy. But this is the difference between him and on high motor, because usually when we hear about people having high motors, they usually don't have the athletic ability to match. They got the high motor because they lack the athletic ability, and they have to have that motor to kind of compensate for them lacking in other areas like athletic ability, quickness, lateral agility, things of that nature. But the thing I like about this guy, he has a high motor. He is a violent, very aggressive player. And he has the athletic ability match. He damn near just identical to DeMarcus Lawrence. Got picked in the second round. Damn near everything is damn near identical. The 40, a lot of the things are identical. He can be stout in the run game. Quick with his hands. Like I said, violent. And the thing I like about Nealon is he can attack you with his hand in the dirt, or he can attack you standing up. And he's very good attacking the ball carrier or attacking the line of scrimmage when he's standing up. That's the one thing that really stood out to me about him more than anything, was him being able to stand up and attack. You see how effective Michael Parsons was. He's not a Michael Parsons in that aspect, but he's a versatile athlete that you can move all down the line. And with DeMarcus Lawrence being 33 on the last year of his deal, I can definitely see him being in that rotation this year and then possibly being a starter next year. But I definitely think he's going to be in that rotation this year. He's going to play, and I think he's going to get quite a bit of playing time because, as you saw, Dorrance Armstrong Jr., Dante Fowler, Gallimore, all of those guys are gone. So he's going to get some work. So I think that was a surprise pick to a lot of us, but I'm definitely not mad at that pick because I love the upside that he does bring. And the fact that he's violent with it and he all-out effort and has the athletic ability to match, I think he's going to be a great fit, and we'll see what happens. So I think that was a good pick. I can't lie and say I didn't like Chris Braswell from Alabama. He got picked one spot after. I thought he could be a player for you too, but I'm not mad at the Marshawn Nealon pick, and think he will contribute this year, definitely, and think he will be a starter down the line. So definitely, I like that pick. So we'll go like that pick. Third round, I'm just looking over some notes and some things. It hurt all our souls with Trey Benson getting taken for the Cardinals, man. They got some good play. They got Marvin Harrison Jr., they got Trey Benson, and they got some players over there. Junior Colson got taken. It looked like he could have fell. Trevor Wallace, a lot of people had him mocked with the Cowboys as well, but one spot below, Cooper Beebe from Kansas State. Shout out to my girl, Stargazer. She was. I heard a lot of people. Dominic White, shout out to him too. There's a lot of people like Cooper Beebe, but them the two people I heard were just pumping this guy. So shout out to both of y'all, really getting that correct. Uh, what can you say now? You could have got my guy. I'm looking right now. You could have got my guy, Marshawn Lloyd. He was there for the taking. But there's some other running backs in there, but Marshawn Lloyd was my guy. But Cooper Beebe, there's not a lot to not like about him. So you're gonna hear that going off because I'm at work. But 6'3", 322 pounds. Very smart up top. You know, good in pass protection, good body control. He looks like a big lumberjack, big, strong guy. Not super athletic. You won't see, he's not going to tear anybody up in the athletic department, but he's stout. He's a big lumberjack. So my thing is, you got Tyler Guyton. He could be your future left tackle. You got now Beebe, who could be your center or your future right guard when Zach Martin leaves, because Zach Martin ain't no spring chicken. So now you have mix and matching. So as she's coming back from next year, you have Asim Richards, you got TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman. Those two are undrafted. Asim Richards, your 5th round pick, and you throw him, well, let's go. I don't want to, but you can throw him in there. Now you got a room. So you built up them trenches, and you ain't mad because you always got to build up the trenches first. So now you got a starter in Beebe. You have a future starter in Guyton. And those are some big boys. And then you already got Terrence Steele, who I think will bounce back this year. Zach Martin, still good. That could be your future. TJ Bass showed us something. Brock Hoffman is scrappy. Asim Richards looked okay in preseason last year. Hopefully he got stronger. So now your offensive line doesn't look as terrible. Not saying it was bad before, but it's not as old, and now there's potential for it to be a good offensive line in the future. So great pick. I think it was another great pick. Doubled up on the offensive lineman, and you got two really good, especially, like I said, Guyton I don't think is ready now, but man, he's elite. He has all the elite attributes, and Beebe is just like a big lumberjack rock. He's gonna be your cornerstone, your toughness. He's gonna be your grungy guy, and he's a smart guy up top. So good pick as well for that. So can't hate on that pick. Then with the next pick in that 3rd round, Marshawn Lloyd went to Green Bay right after that. Hurt my soul, but Maris Lefo. I don't know how to say that daggone last name, but we'll figure it out. But I had Maris mocked in a couple of my mock drafts. I actually went down to the Senior Bowl. I liked him a lot, talked him up a lot in the Senior Bowl. Shout out to my girl Stargazer again. When we first started talking about linebackers, I talked about my linebackers, and she mentioned Maris from Notre Dame, and she said she had liked him, and I said I'm gonna keep an eye on him heading into the Senior Bowl. I told her to give me some linebackers to look at that she liked, and I said I'm gonna go check these linebackers out in the Senior Bowl. She threw out Maris from Notre Dame. I went out there and looked at him, and I agreed with everything she was liking about him. Plays with his hair on fire, and you already got Kendricks back there. I think that'll be a good combination. Good size. About 6'2", 235 pounds, good size. I think he can be good in coverage. You could see his coverage skills when he was at the Senior Bowl. Plays just like 100 miles an hour. That's why he saw a lot of high missed tackles and tendency to overrun plays, because he's so 100 million%. So the two defensive guys I like, you got play with their hair on fire. I'm cool with that. Maris has a lot of potential to be a good player. I thought the Cowboys reached a little bit in that 3rd round to get him, because I felt like you could have got him later. You had the Peyton Wilson out there. You still had the Cedric Gray out there. So that I felt like you reached just a little bit, but I ain't mad with the pick at all, because I feel like he could be a player down the line. I think he can contribute right now. I think he's a smart player. He's very aggressive, and that's what I like. You want the aggressive defensive players. So, I like how the Cowboys came out in the draft in their first 3 rounds. You doubled up a pick. The pick you traded back and you got another offensive lineman. So you got 2 pretty good offensive linemen, top 100 guys. Maris, top 100, and then Nealon. I believe those are top 100 guys in a lot of circles. So you made out pretty good in this first 3 rounds. So I definitely would give the Cowboys a B right now in their draft, and we'll see what happens then, because they like to get busy in the 5th round, 5th through 7th, and the undrafted. So we know they're going to get busy. Just some names to look at before I get off of here. Maybe possible running backs. If we talk about best available, because maybe I want to say a couple things. First, I hope the Cowboys they loaded up on their offensive line, right? Ezekiel Elliott is talking about being a potential reunion. It's looking really good for that. I just got one question with that. Why'd you let him go? I'm not the salary cap guy, the salary cap guru, but why'd you let him go? Didn't make no sense to cut him for 1 year. You paid that money just to bring him back. I feel like y'all just trying to say we made a mistake and we trying to rectify our mistake. But I don't feel like Ezekiel Elliott is moving the needle, in my opinion. He's not moving the needle. You still got Dotto. They picked up the Royce Freeman, and then you got Deuce. Deuce Vaughn's still there. That's not a great running back room to me. It's okay. It's not a great running back, and Ezekiel Elliott's not moving the needle for me, just because he's just not. But you loaded up the offensive line, so we'll see. But when we're talking about best available players that are available, we're going to talk about some running backs, hopefully, that the Cowboys can get. That I would think that these are the top running backs, in my opinion, that Cowboys can slide and you can feel good about. Jaden Wright's still there, Ray Davis, and Braylon Allen. He's a big boy. They like that. Bucky Irvin, and Audric Esteen from Notre Dame as well. Rashawn Ali. I don't like Vidal's a little too small for me, but Rashawn Ali from Marshall. So you got still some guys that you can pick up. You can still get a running back, even though you ain't picking till the 5th round. You could possibly still scoop up one of these sneaky guys. So it still can happen. So look out for those names I just mentioned. And then let's go to receiver right quick. That you could maybe get. I said, look at Devontae Walker. I think he's going to go. I don't think he's going to make it to the 5th round. But his hands is suspect, but he got the speed and all that other stuff. Javon Baker, Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son. Not fast, but big guy. I think we need speed. So keep an eye on some of those guys from the receiver position. And then let's go to linebacker. You got one. You could double up. The kid from Washington, Ufan. You can look at him. Maybe you can sneak a Cedric Gray. You got an edge. Maybe let's look at some defensive tackle. You need a defensive tackle. I think this is where you attack a defensive tackle too. I told you Jaden Crumedy, Jordan Jefferson, Christian Boyd. Those are some of the names that I kind of like and looked at. So there are still some guys. Oh, cornerback. You need a cornerback too. Let me throw out some names of that cornerback position that you can keep on. Chris Abrams-Drain from Missouri. Kyrie Jackson. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. I really like him. Did the corner that Boss likes go? Because I know he liked him. Caleb King wasn't great. Daquan Hardy wasn't great. But there are still some guys that you can look at. Kamal Hayden from Tennessee. So there's still some guys definitely available, and the Cowboys can really get flexible with. But I threw them running backs out there. Obviously, you don't pick to the 5th round, but you can still feel like you can scoop one of them running backs by the 5th round. So that'll be interesting to see if they attack running back in that 5th round. Where will they 5th round go? Will they touch a defensive tackle? Will they go with a running back? Are they going to go corner? I think those 3 are kind of standing out to me. Defensive tackle, sneaky, but those are the ones that are kind of sticking out to me. So we'll go live again after the draft is over. Check out my interview or my talk with Mike Fisher. I might be posting that today or tomorrow. And let's get it and let's see what happens in this draft. Big Game James. I'm out. Peace.